Hello and welcome to Straight Talk with me, Russell Quirk. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about how Essex County Council are wasting your money. Shock, horror. Well, there are numerous ways that they are splashing taxpayers' cash around, and I'm going to tackle more of these in the coming weeks and months. But today, I want to highlight the absolutely astronomical amount of money that the Conservative-controlled County Council spends on taxes. Taxis, yes, taxes, and in particular the blank cheque that they write every year to private hire firms to ferry kids from home to school and back again. In fact, it was recently reported in the Telegraph that one pupil in Buckinghamshire, as an example, travels 59 miles to a boarding school at a cost of £950 a time. Bridget Phillipson, the Labour MP and Education Secretary, said in response to that story that the system is broken. No kidding. There are, of course, legitimate and justifiable reasons for many children to be supported in getting to and from school, and in particular, those with special educational needs and disabilities. Let me be clear. Kids with genuine disabilities should be assisted without question, and the taxpayer, I would hope, is absolutely fine with that, and especially where specialist educational facilities are miles away from their home. So, school transport costs for SEND children are not the focus of this episode. However, if I told you that as a result of this, a Freedom of Information request that I recently submitted to Essex County Council, that the council now spends over £42 million on taxes each year, you would have every right to raise an eyebrow, especially as this is a 14% increase on just last year. This is your money. Is it being spent wisely? Well, I'll let you decide that in the comments at the end of the video. Now, I've also asked for a breakdown of the type of users that benefit from this free home-to-school service in Essex because I want to discount those that have special needs, albeit that I do think we need to take a closer look at those with ADHD that are eligible for thousands of pounds worth of free taxi travel so that we ensure that we're not over-diagnosing this condition. The reason I say that is because a recently published official review on behalf of NHS England concluded that there is no evidence that the number of children who meet criteria for ADHD has increased over time. In other words, while diagnoses and demand have soared, the underlying true prevalence, as they put it, of ADHD among children may have remained roughly stable. Yet the propensity for children with ADHD to use free taxis is soaring. So, I put it to you that we are paying for some under 18s to be chauffeured to school just because they're a little bit naughty. Note that I say some because I'm not suggesting that ADHD doesn't exist, just that it is probably being over-diagnosed. But the real issue here, the point of this video, is kids from so-called low-income families. Now let's be frank, with a UK benefits bill at over £100 billion a year climbing sharply, plus a budget that has just increased benefits and added thousands to household income by way of scrapping the two-child benefit cap, how is it that parents are unable to use some of those benefits to simply pay for a public bus to get their kids to school? Right, cue the comments that will now trash me for daring to say this, but there is no UK household that can't afford to get its kids to school or indeed to feed them breakfast without the state having to do it for them. There, I've said it because it's true. The consequence of this state dependence is that we, the taxpayers of Essex, are spending £42 million each year on funding the ferrying to school of other people's kids, and at current trajectory, 2026 is going to cost you £50 million. So, understandably, I have questions. Could it just be that there is a lot of waste going on here? Could it just be that some of these kids don't really qualify and the parents are gaming the system? Can't some of them just get a free lift? Can't any of them ride a bike, for goodness sake, like I used to have to school? And whatever happened to carpooling? And honestly, shouldn't this spend be properly audited? But do you think, as I do, that because it's other people's money, so to speak, that the Conservatives running Essex County Council simply don't care enough to scrutinise this huge taxpayer-funded overspend? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and by the way, there's more of this fact-based insight and exposure coming soon, including whether you, the taxpayer, should be paying for councillors' babysitters. So, subscribe to Straight Talk so that you don't miss that one coming soon. So, I will see you soon, and do keep questioning authority. It's us, the public, that are supposed to be in charge, with our politicians as our servants, don't forget, not the other way around. That, after all, is democracy. Remember that?